All right. Good morning, everyone. Welcome to our final PFL Playoffs New York Media Day. We are going to be getting started with Biaggio Ali Walsh. So if you please have questions, please raise your hand. Madi, let's get started with you.
Hey Biagio, this is Madi from Wisda Sports Media. How do you feel like your overall MMA journey has gone so far?
I think it's going well. The PFL has given me a great opportunity. The stage that I'm performing at is such a high level stage as an amateur. So I think the experience that I'm getting right now is very high level experience, and to be getting it as an amateur is I'm super grateful and I'm super blessed for it. And so far, I think it's going well. So I know this amateur record doesn't even really matter, but right now it's all about getting experience.
100%. And touching on the amateur experience here, do you kind of have a schedule or kind of like a timeline to where you want to be an amateur for so long? When do you first foresee yourself becoming a pro?
I think maybe sometime next year I'll probably turn pro. I obviously, want to get this fight over with. I'd like to squeeze in another one before the year ends. And yeah, I'm gonna sit down with my coach, see what he thinks, and then we'll be in talks of going pro sometime next year, I think.
Awesome. And lastly, from me, most of your fights, or pretty much all of them, we've seen you like show the high level stand up game. Do you think we see something a little bit different this time around? Maybe sneak in a little bit of grappling?
I don't know. In an MMA fight, anything could take part. You know, uh, what's crazy is in my training, I'm usually wrestling and grappling more than I am striking. But I have such a long career ahead of me that there's going to be plenty of opportunity to see my grappling and my wrestling. But I think, I want to be a very exciting fighter. And to me, people like to see people get knocked out, and they like people standing up and just slinging leather and not caring. So, I want to be an exciting fighter, similar to kind of like a Justin Gagey. But yeah, that's just how I like to fight.
Awesome. Best of skill.
Thank you.
Mills.
Hey, how's it going, Biagio? It's MMA Locker Room, part of Pub Sports Radio. Is it okay if I call you Ali?
Sure.
Yeah, man, can't go wrong with the name like that, man. Let's just talk about your 4-fight win streak, though. Your 4-fight win streak. You're all coming in round one finishes. Is there something that goes into your mind once you actually step into that cage to where it's just, hey, this is the time right now, get it done right now in the first 5 minutes, or is it just opportunities that your opponents give you that you take advantage of?
I think it's the opportunities. When I step into the cage, I want to fight. That, and I think my style, I think I kind of just force my opponent to fight. And I use a lot of volume, and I'm kind of in your face the entire time, very high pressure. I think that it just ends in the first round because they might not be used to that. Who knows though? I don't know why they're quick finishes, but yeah, I just, when I'm in the cage, I want to fight. I don't want to, play patty cake. I don't want to be boring. I don't want to be a boring fighter. I want to be an exciting fighter. And I think that, viewers, they like watching guys that go in there and don't really care. And they just, not saying that I don't care, but I just think that that's kind of my style, is I'm in your face and I kind of force you to fight.
Got it. And then Ali, let me ask you about this, man. Training over there with Jim Gifford, Extreme Couture, Coach Eric, and everybody. Can you tell me about some of the fighters that's actually taking time out of their own days or own journeys to actually point out tips to you, to where you actually thought back like, man, he actually helped me out like this. So is there anybody out there that's kind of taking you under the ropes over there at Extreme Couture?
100%. All my coaches and teammates are super helpful, and, I love them like family. One of my main training partners is Maz Burnell. He's in Bellator. Jeremy Kennedy has helped me out a lot too. He's also in Bellator. There's an up and coming amateur has such a high level wrestling and grappling, and that's Blake Monty. There's just so many guys in there. Nicholas Mota, he's an up and coming lightweight in the UFC. there's so many guys in the gym that help me out, and I pick their brain. And even Sean Strickland has cornered some of my sparring at the gym, and he gives me great pointers. And yeah, there's just so many. The gym's full of high level dudes, and I take advantage of that by working with them, sparring with them, and picking their brains, because they've been a part of the sport for a long time and they're very high level fighters. So that's pretty much what I do. I'm very grateful to be at the gym that I'm at.
And then last to ask you about this, you got a lot of boxers crossing over to mixed martial arts and mixed martial artists crossing over to boxing, with Francis Ngannou taking on Tyson Fury, with Sean O'Malley winning the belt in the UFC, calling out Gervonta Davis. Like, where do you think all of this is ranking at, coming from, to where boxers want to cross over and fight MMA fighters, and MMA fighters want to do the same thing in the boxing ring?
I think it's all, marketing for sure, and a way to get some money for sure. That's what I think that it is. There's two different martial arts. You got, boxing, and you got MMA, and, to see them cross over, it brings viewership and people start talking about it. We're talking about it right now. So the one boxer I think that would be really good if he were to come to MMA would be Terrence Crawford. I know he has a background in wrestling, and I actually saw a video of him wrestling at the Top Rank gym, and I'm like, okay, well, if he were to ever try MMA, maybe just learn some grappling and submission defense, and he'd be pretty solid. But yeah, it's all not saying that they don't actually want to fight each other, but I think it's all a way of marketing and getting some money.
All right. Anyone else for Biaggio while he's here? All right. Thank you, Biaggio. Appreciate your time today.
Thank you.
All right. I'm going to walk you over to the next room, and then we'll be done. All right, guys, up next we have Solomon coming. He should be here in just a few minutes. So if you have questions for him, please raise your hand. Solomon will be here any second, and then we'll get started again. Thanks, guys. All right, guys, we got Solomon here. Apologize for the wait. Mills, why don't you go ahead and kick us off, please?
What's going on, Black Dragon, man? It's MMA Locker Room, part of Pop Sports Radio. How you doing today? The infamous One King.
I'm good. How about yourself?
Oh, man, I'm doing great, man. I can't even start to ask you questions without asking you this first, man. I'm loving the shirt right there. What does Malcolm X mean to you, man? Because for me, he stands for everything for over me, man. I stand by any means necessary. So what does Malcolm X mean to you?
Exactly. By any means necessary, man. That's how we're trying to get it. That's how I'm trying to accomplish my goals, take care of my family, establish my legacy. By any means necessary. So, Malcolm X saying that definitely stood out to me as a young boy growing up and just what he's done for African Americans as a whole. So, it's always good to rep Malcolm X.
Got it, man. I love it, man. I want to ask you this, man. When you first signed with the PFL, I'm going to take it a little bit different, man. Like, did you buy anything that same day, that same week? Did you do anything different? Did you splurge a little bit, get a, new piece of jewelry? Did you buy your mom anything? Can you talk to me about what you did when you actually signed with the PFL?
Man, actually, first thing I did was try to take care of my family, just give them a few things. And then besides that, I just chill. I ain't do nothing crazy. Got right back to work. I bought some, I bought some kicks. I bought a little bit of gear, but I ain't go crazy. I'm being smart with my money, man. I want to buy some apartment buildings, buy some houses, get into real estate. So I ain't gonna blow it. But when I get money to blow, the money that's able to blow, I'm gonna blow that for sure. But right now, I'm just chilling, man. Working on being the best I could be.
Real master of your universe, just like it said in your bio. So, man, let me ask you this, though. Your opponent, though, that you're facing, he only faced defeat one time in the PFL cage, and that was by a knockout against Ray Cooper. How do you feel your skills compare to, take on your opponent to actually come out with the win and be a big underdog?
Yeah, I feel like it's his cards versus mine. I feel like being realistically, he probably has a little bit of higher of a grappling prowess. Nothing crazy though, just a little bit higher. But that doesn't mean you're gonna win the fight. I feel like my striking is much better than his. I'm faster. I'm stronger. He has more experience. I feel like fight IQ could be equal. Just about. I feel like maybe mine's a little bit better when on the feet. His a little bit better on the ground. So I feel like things go my way 4-3.
Got it. And then
So I feel like I can finish him, honestly, by any means necessary. But obviously, I'm looking for that knockout. But if I could take him down, beat him up. He could shoot. I could catch his neck, submit him, put him in a guillotine, choke his life away. Or I could touch him. All I gotta do is touch him. All I gotta do is touch him. If I touch him the right way, he going out, and that's it. That's anybody in the world.
Love that confidence right there, man. Loving it, man. So just speak to me about this too. Seeing you doing some little bit of training with Eric Nixon over there in Vegas. Looking at those pictures though, it looks like he was going into depth and deep about some training on there. It looks like he was holding up your guard and stuff. Did he teach you or show you anything recently that kind of like spread a light bulb in there? Because looking at the pictures, it seemed like you guys were clicking.
Yeah, definitely. Just working on a lot of stuff, just working on the stuff of being a better fighter. In those pictures, we didn't know that we were actually fighting. I didn't know I was fighting yet. I was just training just because I train every day. It's the life I live. I'm trying to be the best in the world. So you got to live the lifestyle. So I'm training and we're just working on different things. But in those pictures, we was working on manipulating the guard and, pretty much cutting guys off, which is probably what I'm going to end up doing to this guy. I find a W. So just doing what we do.
And then last one for me, who's some of the fighters that's preparing you and training for you and giving you those sparring rounds and looks to get ready for this fight?
Man, I took the fight on 12 days notice, but the sparring partners, guys at Extreme Couture, we have a crazy roster of guys, Bellator, UFC, and PFL as well. Not to mention a lot of other promotions. So guys from all types of promotions were helping me out. I don't want to say names, then I'll forget a lot of names. But I've just been working with everybody I possibly can. I mean, from weight to 145 to 185, sometimes 205. Weight, just getting better. Weight don't really become a thing in training unless we're really banging. But we're being smart. We're professional. So everybody at Extreme Couture, everybody even in New York, and even when I'm in Tiger Showman's, everybody around just been helping me get better.
All right, good luck, man. Nice talking to you. Can't wait to see you fight this Wednesday.
It's a pleasure to talk to you as well.
Madi.
Hey, Solomon, this is Madi from Wisdas Media.
Hey, what's up, Marty?
How you doing, my brother?
Good, I'm good.
First question from me is when you got the call to fill in for this matchup, where were you and what were your immediate thoughts?
I was actually in the gym. I was getting ready to jump rope. My immediate thoughts was, damn, man, one of these guys pulled out. I can't believe somebody would pull out for $1 million. That's probably a bitch move. Even if I was hurt, I would probably still take the fight. Just a chance to, change my life and change my family's legacy. So I just can't see myself doing that. But now I'm here.
Yeah, I mean, it just seems like every time you get that shot, you're taking it. Given your first matchup, you filled in on short notice. This is about a week after you got signed. It just
Yeah.
adds like a little bit of a testament to your personality and just your give it all, anytime, anywhere mentality. What do you attribute that to?
My whole life, man, I talk the talk and walk to walk. My grandfather always told me everything you're gonna do it like a gangster. So that's what I'm doing. I'm doing it like a gangster. I believe in myself and I believe in my skills, and I'm willing to stand behind that, stand on that.
Love it. Last one for me. What's the post-fight meal for this Wednesday?
I'm definitely gonna get some cheesecake somewhere out here in New York. Looking forward to getting some cheesecake for sure.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Solomon.
Thank you.
Any last questions for Solomon before we let him go?
Yeah, I got one, man. I'll come back real quick. So
Thanks,
besides
Sol.
you fighting on this card, who are some of the fighters that you're actually looking forward to seeing fight, to play out this PFL playoff series? Because this season been a little bit different. Some of the heavy hitters that's there, some of the big names aren't there. A lot of contenders are coming up and making the name, and, people like you and stuff like that. So who are some of the people that's coming over to the organization that you're really looking forward to either watching or either facing up and fighting again?
Man, I like the featherweights that are fighting. Watching both their journeys is incredible. That's actually super dope. I can take inspiration from forgot the one guy's name, but he beat Brandon Lockney and he just beat Bubba Jenkins as well. I can take inspiration from that. I can see myself doing something very, very similar. So I love watching him fight and I look forward to watching him perform. Obviously also Shane Burgos. He's fighting Clay Collar. I look forward to that fight as well. Shane's like a big brother to me. And man, I hope he goes out there and does his thing. I really wish him the best. I also like Sadibou. Sadibou trains that stream with me. He's another guy who's always showing me the ropes, putting me on new things. I look forward to watching him go do his thing as well. And then Magomed, my opponent, man, he's fucking great. He's great, but I think I'm greater than great. I say it every day. So I plan on going out there and performing and getting a W.
And then fighting in New York, you got a lot of people coming in the building, a lot of people to represent for you.
Yeah, even though it's 12 days notice, definitely gonna be a lot of people in there for the Renfro show for sure. As soon as I told people I was fighting, I feel like ticket sales went up. But it's definitely gonna be packed. You're gonna hear the crowd loud and proud for the Renfro show.
All right. Thank you so much, Solomon. Appreciate your time today.
Thank you.
You can just come right this way. We'll head to the next room. right in that chair over there. All right, guys, we have Bruno Miranda fighting OAM on Wednesday. Please raise your hands if you have questions for Bruno. All right, Aldrich, please start us off.
How you doing, Bruno? You're fighting the champion of last year at OAM. Talk to me about what excites you about this matchup, your skill set going into this fight, and what did it mean to punch your ticket to the big stage?
Feel like, as I said before, I feel like this is the final for me, fight against the champion. So yeah, man, I'm super excited and can't wait to get there and I make this war and I get the victory.
And also fighting in the big arena, in the Madison Square Garden. Talk to me about how monumental is that for you? You know, it's very iconic in many ways for in the sporting world.
It's like a dream come true. You know, I've been seeing New York in the movies since I'm young, and now I'm here and I'm fighting a big stage like Madison Square. So I'm very, very happy.
Thank you for your time and best of luck to you.
Sorry?
He said, thanks for your time, best of
Ah,
luck.
thank you.
Madi,
Hey Bruno, how's it going? This is Madi from WizDoes Sports Media. First question for you. How does it feel fighting the champ from last year? And does that add any specific pressure overall to your preparation?
So just feel like a championship fight, you know. I feel like I'm fighting for the final right now, but also makes me feel very happy and proud of my career to, you know, to fight a guy like him and in the PFL, you know, semifinals.
And when all is said and done, and if you do go on and win this matchup and win the finals, what would that $1 million do to change your life?
Yeah, it will change my life in many ways, you know. It could help. I can help my family, you know, help myself and invest for the next year.
And lastly, from me, what's the post-fight meal?
Sorry?
What's your post-fight meal gonna be?
Pizza.
Awesome. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Mills.
What's going on, Bruno, Miranda, Busto?
So,
Nothing much, man. Just chilling. MMA locker room here, part of Pub Sports Radio. I mean, you're one of the hottest fighters right now, right in a 7-fight win streak. I just want to ask you though, on that 7-fight win streak, before you went on that win streak, it was kind of like win, lose, back and forth. After you got that win and started to go on that win streak, did anything change in your guys' training or your mentality, or was there any more coaches that got brought in that helped you out to go on this win streak that you're on now?
my mentality, you know, and also age, you know, I start getting more experience and I focus more in my MMA career because before I was fighting Muay Thai and kickboxing as well. So I couldn't focus 100% in my MMA career. And I think that was like just, yeah, the focus and mentality.
Like that, okay. And then let me speak about some of your training that you've been doing with Tiger Muay Thai, with the Hickman brothers, and everybody over there. How is that level of competitive helped you out? You know, to where every single day, you know, growing up back in the day, a lot of the Brazilians that would train in all the Brazilian mixed martial arts gym, they would go 100%. So they used to always go on 100%. So how does Tiger Muay Thai kind of help you out to relate to your roots of Brazil?
And the training at Tiger Muay Thai for me was a great experience, you know. Like now I'm not there anymore. I'm in Phuket Fight Club, but the time I spent there, I could train with a lot of beasts, you know, like Volkanovski, Peter Yan, many, many, many fighters, you know, many good level guys. And yeah, that was good. And Tiger also support me with my stay in Thailand, so I could just leave to training and fighting. So that was very good for me.
And then one other thing, so your opponent, he has a pretty much a better fight resume, it seems like, just because of the level of opponents that he faced before. And it seems like, he's the returning champion. So, it seems like everybody's going to be saying that he's penciled in to go on to the championship. But what are you preparing for to actually derail him and to pull off a big upset? Because it seems like this is the year of the upsets for the underdogs in PFL.
Exactly. Underdogs will be on top. I'm ready to shock the world, so you guys will see on Wednesday.
Got it. Can't wait to see you guys fight this Wednesday. Good luck.
Thank you, man.
All right, guys, any last questions before we let Bruno go? All right, thank you, guys.
Thank you.
Thank you, Bruno.
Thank
We'll
you.
walk you next door to the other room now. Guys, I'm gonna go get Clay. Be right back. All right, guys, we got Clay here. Marty, please kick us off.
Yeah.
How's it going?
Good.
This is Madi from Wisda Sports Media. First and foremost, the shirt. It's a work of art. I love it. Cassius Clay colored, the Crimson Chin. It's finally being put into effect. First fighter nickname. Let's go. This matchup that is the matchup that fans have been raving about ever since Shane signed with the PFL, essentially. Coming into this fight, has that lit a fire under your preparation for this kind of war?
Yeah, the fans are raving about it because of me. They want to see me fight Shane. They don't want to see Shane fight me, if that makes any sense. So yeah, I'm stoked to fight him, They've been putting his face all over everything, and you log into ESPN, you type in PFL, he's the first ugly mug you see on the poster, and that just annoys me. So I'm ready to get in there and punch him.
And where in this fight do you feel like you have the advantage? Because obviously both of you guys are primarily strikers. Do you feel like your overall volume style approach will give Shane trouble in that cage?
Yeah, I think I'm better everywhere. He's a decent striker. I think I'm a better striker. I think he's going to try to wrestle me, which is going to be a mistake because I think I'm a better wrestler. So I just think I got his number picked, and I'm excited to get in the cage and prove it tomorrow or Wednesday.
And yeah, speaking about that, Wednesday, usually we have these fights on the weekend or on a Friday. How does it feel to be fighting midweek?
It doesn't matter what day it is, it's fight day to me. And we're excited, whatever fight day is. It could be Friday, it could be Sunday, it could be Wednesday. We're just excited to get in the cage no matter what day it is.
Gotta love it. And lastly, from me, what's the plan for the post-fight meal?
I don't know yet. Maybe I'll let my girl pick where we eat.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Clay.
Aldrich.
What's going on, Clay? You have another big name that you're fighting against. It seems like since you've been in the PFL, you fought the big names with Anthony Pettis, Jeremy Stevens, and you happen to put on the fight of the year, and you've been in the category many times. This matchup with Shane, man, it seems like every time you fight these big names, you happen to be the underdog in them, and people underestimate you, and you happen to wow them every time. What's this like to add this to another notch to your belt?
It's just another feather in the cap. You know what I'm saying? I can't wait till people start saying my name's the big name and I'm the man to beat, because that's what I believe. So Shane's locked in that cage with me. I'm not locked in the cage with Shane. He's got me to deal with. I don't got him to deal with. So yeah, put some respect on it. Cassius Clay Collard, baby. Let's go.
As they should. And my follow-up question is, seems like every year so far, it's come down to the semifinal where, it's like I say, everyone has a hurdle. What is this going to take this time for you to get over that hurdle and make it to the big stage and fight for that $1 million?
It's going to take beating Shane Burgos, and we are well prepared, and we're ready to go in there and get the job done and earn our spot in the championship.
And my last question for me is, obviously you fought in both boxing and now MMA. Talk to me about how, like, this year, of course, the boxing scene, like, have you been really impressed with, like, fights that have been happening, the big fights and going forward? And how's that trajectory have helped you, like, in MMA too, like the bigger fights as well?
You see all these other guys start to cross over to boxing. Nate Diaz looked like dog crap. Nobody does it like me. Nobody has hands like me in the sport of mixed martial arts. And none of the boxers can wrestle like me. So, yeah, we're excited to go in there and put on a show with our hands. And if he tries to wrestle me, I'm ready for that too. So,
Gotcha. And this is my final question. Obviously, you said nobody has hands like you. So lately, I know Terrence Crawford has expressed, possibly doing something MMA wise, and he does have a wrestling background. What would it take to put a super fight on with you and Terrence Crawford in the PFL?
If he wants to get choked out, let him step over, man. I'd love to choke him out. I ain't gonna box with him. I'm not that stupid. I don't have the hands like it, but MMA striking is completely different. You have kicks, you have wrestling, you have clinch work, you have elbows. He can wrestle a little bit. Like, we've been doing this for years, man. We're ahead of the game in that aspect.
Thank you for your time. Best of luck to you on Wednesday.
Mills.
Hey, how's it going, Clay? It's MMA Locker Room, part of Pub Sports Radio.
Going good, man. Thank you.
Good, man. I just wanted to say, I talked to you last time, man, and you actually broke down of how you got your name, and I just wanted to say thanks for that. I did a little history digging on it, and man, that guy was amazing and everything that he stands for. So your mom was a real one for naming you after him. That was a nice guy that I actually found out information on. But let's talk about this, man. They got you as the underdog, and a lot of people think that you're actually the favorite to win it this time around. You're a slight underdog. So with that being said, when you went to go get your physicals from the doctor, did the x-ray show that dog in you?
I got that dog in me. I prove it every time I step in the cage. Yeah, People are delusional, man. They brought over Shane. He's got 3 points. He didn't even earn a spot to the playoffs. He lucked out. So put me as the underdog. You know I got that dog in me, boy. We coming.
Yeah, I know it. I know it. And I hear your resentment on that. Some people did feel that in the MMA community that they kind of, like after that close fight with Nathan Schultz, that they kind of gifted it to Burgos. But hey, it's all right. I think that just makes a better main event here for us to watch on this Wednesday. Besides that, though, any predictions on this fight? Because I know you like to finish your opponents out there. You say you got the best hands. I believe that. I actually think you have some of the best head movement and footwork as well.
Yeah, I'm trying to put him away in round 2. I don't want it to go all 3 rounds. I want to make a statement. I want to prove all those naysayers wrong that have me picked as the underdog. So I'd like to put him away before the end of round 3 for sure.
Got it, man. And best of luck to you this week. And I want to say, yes, that shirt does look nice. And I heard you with Wiz getting that nickname. So good to see you reacting with the MMA community and, doing big things for us.
Yes, sir.
All right, Aldrich, did I call on you yet?
Yes, you did.
All right. Any last questions for Clay? Why we have him here? All right, good stuff. Thanks, Clay. Appreciate your time today.
Thank you, guys.
We're just gonna go right next door. We're just waiting 1 second for the translator to get here, and then we'll get started with Carlos. Yep, you just did. Bima? Bima?
Waiting on Freddie Bruce. Go ahead. Is your mic on?
All right, Aldrich.
Boa tarde, Carlos. You have a big matchup going on this Wednesday against champion Sadibou. What excites you about that matchup? What are your plans going into the fight, and what would it mean to you to make that big stage and punch to get that $1 million?
O que te anima dessa luta contra o Sadibou, essa revanche? E o que significaria para você carimbar o passaporte aí para a final?
Essa luta é a luta que, para mim, é a mais aguardada do ano, né? Pelo fato de eu já ter lutado com ele e querer deixar o placar empatado no 1-1. E a situação está se repetindo da temporada passada, né? Nós dois se encontrando na semifinal de novo e seria muito bom para mim fazer a mesma coisa com ele que ele fez comigo, né? Ele ficar nas semifinais e eu passar para a final. E para mim a parte melhor ainda é ganhar mais uma vez de um campeão da temporada. Então isso vai somar muito para minha carreira profissional também.
It's the most anticipated fight of the year for me. It's something I've been really, really looking forward to. I'd love nothing more than to be able to brush him off to the side, leave him halfway, and make my way to the championship this time around. Love to even the score with him. So that's kind of how I look at it. And more, and something else too that keeps me going is to be able to add another PFL welterweight champion to my winning record.
All right, and my next question for you is obviously this past Friday, two of your Brazilian counterparts in Bruno and Larissa punched tickets to the final. Talk to me about what would that mean for you guys, along with your other counterpart Bruno, who's fighting on Wednesday, to bring 4 belts potentially back to Brazil and adding to the lineage in MMA.
Você acha que significaria para você poder estar nas finais com o Bruno Miranda e ter potencialmente aí 4 brasileiros nas finais, 4 cinturões voltando para o Brasil?
Para mim, não só para mim, mas o país, né? O povo brasileiro significaria muito, porque ia ter 4 brasileiros na final disputando o título e possivelmente esses 4 brasileiros levando o título da categoria, né? Então ia mostrar que o Brasil está no topo da PFL ali, dominando a temporada de 2023.
Yeah, this will, just go to show this would mean a lot for me. It would, go to show how present Brazil is in the top of the food chain as far as MMA goes, and that we're still on top.
And my last question for me is into that regard, bringing those potential houses back to Brazil, do you think that will help get a staple to bring PFL to Brazil more often, more consistently every season?
Você sente que a sua vitória e enfim, esses cinturões voltando para o Brasil fazem com que fique ainda mais difícil aí da PFL não fazer um evento, uma edição no Brasil?
Com certeza. Com o Brasil dominando, né, todas as categorias, praticamente todas as categorias da PFL, e isso acho que vai deixar muito mais fácil e começar a ter edições da PFL no Brasil. E para nós seria muito bom, né? Lutar dentro de casa, não tem nada melhor do que ouvir o grito da nossa torcida e nossos familiares junto ali, torcendo, assistindo ao vivo. Para nós faz toda a diferença.
Yeah, and I feel like it'd be tough to argue against bringing a show out to Brazil. I think it's overdue, and I think we deserve it. Nothing better than to being able to fight in your backyard or being able to fight next to people that support you, that are there to cheer you on, and that have been following your career from the beginning.
Thank you, and best of luck to you on Wednesday.
Mills.
Hey, what's going on, the Lion MMA Locker Room, part of Pub Sports Radio? So I just have a question for you. It seems like you already fought your opponent last year in the playoffs. You wasn't able to get the win in there, but after you already shared the cage with them for that amount of time, what did you take out of that loss? Because before that, you were on, I think, 11-fight win streak. So that loss had to stay with you a little bit longer. So how did that loss help you to prepare to face him again to get revenge?
O que você aprendeu com aquela derrota para o Sadibou? Você passou 15 minutos com ele dentro do cage. Quais foram coisas ali que você pôde extrair? Você que antes dessa luta com ele estava vendo uma sequência aí de, se eu não me engano, mais ou menos umas 11 vitórias. E, enfim, teve aquele revés ali e desde então vem sendo vitorioso aqui dentro da PFL. O que você aprendeu naquela derrota que você vai poder aplicar para sair com a sua mão levantada, mão erguida aí essa semana?
O que eu mais aprendi com aquele resultado negativo é não deixar a luta para a decisão dos árbitros, tentar terminar a luta o mais rápido possível, por nocaute ou por finalização, não importa se no primeiro, segundo, no terceiro round, mas não deixar a luta ir até o fim. Então isso eu comecei a aplicar, né, não só eu, né, minha equipe nos treinos, a fazer os treinos mais intenso possível, né, claro, com um treino inteligente para não se machucar. E tem dado certo porque a gente viu o resultado nas minhas últimas 2 lutas e eu tenho certeza que nessa não vai ser diferente.
Biggest takeaway for me from that fight that I've been really applying on my last couple performances here, and I think whoever's been following has been able to absorb it. It's the fact that I'm no longer leaving my fights in the hands of the judges. I am taking matters to my own hands, no pun intended, and I am making sure that I control my destiny. I control the way the fight goes. I'm leaving no room for interpretation because that's what made me fall short of my goal last year in the semifinals against Sadibou.
Got it. And then also, too, I just want to talk to you about, some of the new people that's coming over to the organization and how important it is for you guys to go out there and put on a show in every fight. With a lot of the eyes looking at the PFL as the new organization assigned to, a lot of fighters are going to come over here and try to throw their hat in this tournament. But you already have experience and it already is already a champion. So how do you feel that, you're going to be in this organization for the next couple of years to come, being that you already held the belt once and you plan on getting it again?
Como é que você vê aí, com o crescimento da PFL, muitos atletas vão querer estão querendo, né, começar a vir para cá, a sair de contrato de outras organizações ou atletas que estão, subindo aí nos rankings, galera mais nova, querendo chegar aqui. Como é que você, se tornando campeão depois aí, ao decorrer desse ano, como é que você vê esse crescimento da PFL e, consequentemente, o nível, né, de competição aqui subindo?
Como eu disse antes, vendo a PFL, o crescimento, ela tem acontecido agora com eventos fora também dos Estados Unidos, na Europa. Eu vejo a PFL como um evento dominando o mundo e se tornando o principal evento de luta do mundo. E com mais atletas chegando, para mim vai ser muito bom, porque eu quero lutar com os melhores do mundo. E depois que eu tiver o título, todos eles vão saber que eu sou o leão, eu que nasci para reinar. E a PFL é a minha selva e eu que vou dominar. Então, quem quiser bater de frente vai ter que estar pronto, só isso.
I mean, I love it. I love the exposure. I love PFL's growth because in the end of the day, I do want to fight against the very best. And me coming out here and winning the belt puts the welterweight division on notice throughout any and all promotions. So people that want to take a crack at the best and test themselves, they're going to have to think of my name when doing so.
Marty.
Hey, Carlos. This is Madi from Wisda Sports Media. This season, you really did not mess around in that cage. 2 huge knockout stoppages what, if at all, has changed in your preparation between this year and last year before heading into that cage?
O que que você mudou na sua preparação do ano passado para esse ano? A gente tem visto aí performances avassaladoras da sua parte, né? Ao decorrer aí dessas últimas duas lutas.
É, na verdade, eu só dei continuidade no trabalho, né? Então, no passado, na temporada passada, a gente aprendeu muito aqui e a gente deu continuidade ao trabalho com o foco de terminar a luta antes da decisão dos árbitros. Como a gente sabe que principalmente as duas primeiras lutas é lutas de pontuação para garantir a gente para os playoffs, então a gente deu continuidade nesse trabalho, então e deixou o camp muito mais intenso, né? Para eu conseguir lutar os 5 rounds de 5 minutos na maior intensidade possível, mas é claro, sempre fazendo treino inteligente, por causa de uma luta ser em cima da outra, eu não acabar me machucando.
We've really intensified the training camp. I mean, as far as changes in the team, we've had none, but we've just changed the strategy. We've intensified our training camps in order to capitalize in quicker results and coming in and out of the cage in quicker fashion. But also we've started to train smarter as well in order to avoid getting injured, as you guys all know, it's many fights back to back.
And as some of the other gentlemen touched up on, what does it mean to you to rematch Sadibou in a very similar spot that you were in last year? What do you think will change this time around?
O que significa para você fazer um rematch aí com o Sadibou depois que aconteceu ano passado?
Então, para mim, é a luta mais importante, é a luta mais aguardada por mim também. Eu queria muito que essa luta fosse na final, uma luta de 5 rounds, mas aconteceu do jeito que é para ser, né? É na semifinal e para mim é a luta mais aguardada e eu tô muito feliz porque agora é um acerto de contas, na verdade. Então, vamos deixar esse jogo empatado no 1-1 aí.
I mean, I'm absolutely stoked with this fight. This is the most important fight of the year for me. I look forward to settling the score with him at 1-1, leaving this as a draw, and really pretty much righting my wrongs from last year.
Now, Carlos, one thing that I really admire about you is every time we see you in post-fight media, you walk in, you have the Bible in your hand. How much does religion play a part into your training and into your life overall?
Qual o papel que a religião prega no seu treino e na sua vida, como geral?
É a minha fé, né? É o que eu sempre falo aqui. É o que eu tenho de mais forte. É a minha arma mais poderosa, entendeu? Então, faz toda a diferença nos meus treinos, faz toda a diferença na minha luta. Ela me lembra o motivo de eu estar aqui. E o motivo é meu propósito. E Deus me colocou aqui, mesmo sabendo de todos os meus erros e as minhas falhas, para ser um condutor, alguém que vai levar a palavra dele ali e talvez alcance a vida de alguém, da mesma forma que ele alcançou a minha quando eu era mais novo e a minha vida nunca mais foi a mesma.
My faith is my strong suit. It's the strongest part of what I bring to the table as an athlete. God's put me in this position. He's put me here to be a conduit of His word, to spread His word, to spread, His knowledge and His good, and maybe to be someone that's able to touch the life of others, like my life was touched when I was younger, and to do it through sport.
Awesome. And last one from me. You're in the city with the big bright lights and really good food. What are you planning on for a post-fight meal?
Vai comer o que depois da luta? Nova York tem muita comida boa.
A vitória, ela já vai me saciar. Eu tô com fome de vitória, mas o depois é uma pizza, um sorvete. A gente já deu umas voltas aqui e tá conhecendo o lugar, mas provavelmente aquela pizza e acompanhando os stories da Larissa, eu vi que ela achou uma churrascaria brasileira bem próxima aí. Talvez seja ali também, mas ainda tá indefinido. Eu sei que aí vai ser besteira que a gente vai comer.
Oh, I'm really hungry for a win. That's what I'm a playoff win here. So that's what's gonna satisfy me. As far as actual food, it'll probably be the classic, post fight pizza, or maybe even something that that I saw on Larissa's stories from last week. She found a nice Brazilian steakhouse here, so maybe we'll pay them a visit.
Awesome. Thank you so much.
Daniel.
Oi, Carlos. Aqui Daniel falando pela Brazilian MMA Machine. A primeira pergunta que eu tenho para ti é o que significa, né, você lutar pelo Brasil, lutar com a bandeira brasileira?
Para mim significa muito, porque tem vários atletas, né? Quem acompanha a luta sabe que tem vários atletas lutando para tentar chegar onde eu estou. Eu sei quanto foi difícil chegar até aqui. São mais de 11, 12 anos, se não me engano, na carreira profissional para eu ter chegado até aqui. E tem gente que treina e batalha mais ainda e não conseguiu chegar. Então, para mim, é muito gratificante ter chegado nesse ponto e eu me sinto privilegiado, abençoado e não vou decepcionar. Vai ser muito bom estar representando meu país nesse super evento.
Oh,
Beleza.
I mean, I could translate it.
Daniel, did you have another question?
Yeah, absolutely. Carlos, me conta um pouco como é que tem sido o teu treinamento, como é que tem sido... eu sei que você tem uma dedicação muito grande, eu sei que você é um lutador muito esforçado, mas me conta como é que tem sido a tua caminhada no treinamento, como que você tem se preparado para essa luta.
Como eu disse antes, a gente deu continuidade no trabalho da temporada passada, né? E dois pontos diferenciais que teve a decisão do meu head coach, Rodrigo Cavaleiro. A primeira foi a gente fazer, para a primeira luta, a gente fez uma parte do meu camp lá na CMCC, uma grande equipe de MMA, comandada pelo mestre Cristiano Marcelo. E para esse camp também, outra decisão que teve do meu head coach foi trazer dois atletas com um jogo parecido e com altura e envergadura do Sadibou, e que a gente não teve na outra luta com ele. Então ele trouxe esses dois atletas para fazer os sparrings, para fazer os treinos de luta comigo. Então esse foi o grande diferencial. Mas aquilo que eu tenho feito já, né, fazer cada treino 100%, na maior intensidade possível, para terminar as lutas antes da decisão dos árbitros.
All right, that's going to be, I have a last one. Então, Carlos, eu queria saber se você, o que você acha, se você espera que isso vai ser uma luta de finalização, né, entre finalização ou nocaute, de repente, tem né, uma luta mesmo de titãs entre as suas mãos e os pés, né, do Sadibou. O que você acha disso?
Eu sei que vai ser uma luta intensa do começo até o final, né? E eu vou fazer aquilo que eu faço de melhor, o que o Leão faz de melhor. Eu vou caçá-lo desde o primeiro segundo de luta até o final da luta. Eu não vou dar paz para ele. A gente vai trazer, vocês vão ver que eu trouxe muitas armas novas no meu jogo e eu vou surpreendê-lo e no final ele vai ser nocauteado, ele vai ser finalizado e a minha mão vai ser levantada no final.
Carlos, boa sorte na tua luta. Muito boa sorte na tua luta. Corra tudo bem. All right, guys. That was it for me. Thank you.
Thanks, Daniel. Corey, last question for Carlos, please.
Hey, Carlos, Corey from Tunnel Vision Sports. Did you bring in any training partners to emulate Sadibou's size, long-range kickboxing style?
Trouxe algum companheiro de treino para poder, enfim, fazer aí às vezes do Sadibou, esse cara que tem essa envergadura e esse estilo assim que joga bastante na longa?
Sim, como eu disse agora há pouco, meu treinador principal, head coach Rodrigo Cavaleiro, ele trouxe dois atletas que tem o mesmo biotipo do Sadibou, são mais altos, têm a mesma envergadura, e eles assistiram as lutas do Sadibou e tentaram simular o jogo dele o máximo possível e eu pôr o meu jogo em cima deles, né? E o campo inteiro foi feito com esses dois atletas em todos os treinos para eu me adaptar com a altura, com a envergadura. Eu tenho certeza que vai fazer toda a diferença para essa luta.
Yeah, my head coach, Rodrigo Cavalheiro, brought two training partners that, really watched a lot of tape on Sadibou and in order to be able to emulate his style. And those guys were there with me through the entire camp. So just in order to make me feel accustomed and used to his height and reach.
And then last one for me. Larissa Pacheco lost twice to Kayla Harrison before ultimately beating her in the finals last year. Do you take any motivation from her mindset, being that you've already lost to Sadibou once?
A Larissa foi uma pessoa que lutou e perdeu para Kayla Harrison 2 vezes antes de finalmente ter a terceira oportunidade e ganhar. Você vê isso como, eu sei que você só lutou contra o Sadibou uma vez, mas você vê isso como motivação para uma luta sua como essa, que é uma revanche?
Com certeza, com certeza. E ela sendo brasileira ainda, eu acompanhando a história dela, para mim me motiva muito mais. E eu tenho uma filosofia assim de vida que a gente não é derrotado quando a gente perde. A gente é derrotado quando a gente desiste. Então, eu não desisti, eu tô aqui de novo e vamos deixar esse placar no 1-1.
Yes, absolutely. The fact that, she showed resilience and kept moving forward and got the best result in the end. It's definitely an athlete and a career that I do look up to. I'm a big follower of the philosophy that you're not defeated when you lose. You're defeated when you give up. And I have not given up. I'm here to take what's mine.
I love that mindset. That's all from me. Best of luck, Carlos. Thank you.
Thank you, Carlos, for your time today. Appreciate it.
Obrigado.
All right, guys, I'm going to go get Maga and we will be right back. All right, guys, we have Maga with us. If you have questions for Maga, please raise your hand. Right here, next to me.
Great, Adinov.
All right, Madi.
Magomed, this is Madi from Wisda Sports Media. First question for you is, how does the preparation change when it comes from changing opponents from a guy like Magomed Umalatov to someone in Solomon Renfro?
Магомед, первый вопрос. Поменялось ли что-то в твоей подготовке к этому бою, когда ты узнал, что у тебя будет смена оппонента с Магомеда Умалатова на твоего нового оппонента Соломона?
Так как-то мне наоборот еще лучше, что у меня поменялся соперник, потому что со своим же товарищем, чем драться, мне легче намного с другим подраться. Это мне и удобный соперник, и мотивации больше.
For me, there was a big weight off the shoulders when I knew that the opponent was going to be changed. Because, you know, Magomed is my friend, and the training and the whole preparation was a little bit stressful. And now I feel a little bit better in terms of he's a better opponent, and also just the physique of his is more familiar to me.
Yeah, speak a little bit more about how fighting someone like Solomon Renfro is a little bit more familiar to you. Do you just feel like fighting someone a little bit smaller in size would give you some sort of advantage, or just speak a little bit about that?
Почему ты считаешь, что Соломон для тебя более удобный оппонент в том плане, может быть, его стиля, либо его физика? То есть, как ты считаешь, почему для тебя он может быть более удобным соперником?
Его стиль мне удобный. Он ростом ниже, чем мой предыдущий соперник. Потом по технике он намного уступает Умалатову. И он менее опытный.
Solomon is a little bit shorter, which is definitely my preference over Magomed Umalatov. And I think his skill set is not up to par with Magomed's as well. So overall, and also he has less experience. So in that sense, I think he is less experienced and shorter opponent, which is definitely better for me.
Yeah, when we talk about Solomon, he came into his first PFL fight on short notice and upset the world and knocked out Jarrah Silawi. He thinks that there's another underdog story coming into this fight. What's your response to that?
Соломон немножко шокировал многих людей, когда он выиграл у Джара, нокаутировал его. И сейчас, подходя к этому бою, он примерно так же подходит. Его считают как underdog, то, что его недооценивают. И он надеется также победить, как бы тем самым предоставив еще одно удивление миру. Как ты к этому относишься?
Ну, каждый боец выходит выиграть, проигрывать никто не выходит. Но я сам удивился, что он выиграл Джараха. Что-то Джарах, как пришел в ПФЛ, расслабился. И он очень много проигрывал здесь. В принципе, все, да?
That's normal. That's expected. Nobody's coming out to lose. Everybody's coming out to win. So the same as with Solomon, he is optimistic. I understand that. And yeah, like when he knocked out Jarrah, that was surprising. I don't know. Jarrah kind of dropped the ball here since he came to PFL. He started losing. But again, it's nothing new to me. So I'm looking forward to that matchup.
And last one for me. What are you planning to eat post-fight?
И последний вопрос. Что ты после боя, у тебя есть какое-то блюдо, что бы ты очень хотел потом, чего ждешь прям перекусить, поесть после боя?
Да, есть там в Коннектике один ресторан хороший. Хочу после боя на следующее утро поехать туда, там позавтракать, там очень очень вкусные завтраки.
Yes, I already have a place in mind. It's in Connecticut. It's a place that my friends know, and I'm really waiting to go get the breakfast after the fight. So I already have a place in mind.
Awesome. Thank you so much and best of luck.
Aldrich.
What's going on, Magomed? Back again, you're fighting for a championship spot. Obviously, you won the $1 million before in welterweight. You went back to back and you came up short. Talk to me about this year, your progression so far compared to other seasons on punch your ticket back to the championship.
Магомед, мы уже видели, как ты один раз завоевал пояс $1 миллион, и $1 миллион забрал. Сейчас надеемся, тоже смотрим, ждем. Как ты чувствуешь, этот сезон отличается от твоих предыдущих, подготовка твоя и вообще как сезон проходил? Есть какие-то отличия?
Да, есть отличия, конечно. Первый год, когда я дрался, для меня было что-то новое. А вот спустя уже 5 лет, я как дерусь в ПФЛ, я чувствую себя как дома, чувствую себя здесь как хозяин. И где 1 миллион, там второй неизбежен.
Yeah, things definitely changed since my first appearance in PFL. The first season I was a little bit nervous. Now I feel definitely like home. Now I feel like the host of this party here. And where you see 1 million, the second one is coming right around the corner.
Like you said, since you're starting PFL, the organization has been very great to you. Talk to me, how has it helped your career in a very positive trajectory? Have you grown in the sport? What is it that, when it's all said and done, what do you want to leave your mark on in the MMA world and also historically in PFL?
Ты раньше в других лигах выступал. С приходом в PFL, как ты думаешь, твоя карьера изменилась, твой подход к боям, то есть что для тебя PFL дал? И вообще по окончании своей карьеры, как бы ты хотел, чтобы поклонники тебя запомнили, то есть какой след ты хочешь оставить?
ПФЛ изменил мою жизнь в лучшую сторону. Я раскрылся как боец. Я вырос финансово. Благодаря ПФЛ многие меня начали узнавать. И я очень благодарен ПФЛ.
Yes, I'm very thankful to PFL because I grew up here as a fighter. I, learned a lot of new skills, and overall, it gave me a certain popularity. People recognize me now more often, and obviously, financially, my situation improved. So I'm very grateful to PFL, and I think that's going to help me to secure my legacy.
And my last question is, obviously, PFL has been growing and going global. How often you guys have been talking to possibly getting PFL events done in Russia?
Насколько ты знаешь, PFL развивает лиги в разных регионах, в разных странах. Ты как-то слышал, может быть, слухи или обсуждал с кем-то по поводу расширения PFL в России, чтобы было представительство?
Да, я знаю, они в Европе проводят, там еще много где хотят провести. Если они в России провели бы, это было бы очень хорошо. И если они будут в России проводить, я готов сотрудничать с ними, помогать им в развитии ПФЛ в России. Это будет очень, очень классно.
Yes, I know that PFL Europe is doing great. They've been doing events, and it seems like it's been pretty popular. And if PFL decides to expand to Russia and open up representation over there, I'm definitely looking to partner up and represent PFL. I would be honored to represent PFL over there in Russia.
Thank you, and best of luck to you on Wednesday. Hey, Alex.
Hey, Aldrich.
Mills, let's finish us up, please.
Salam alaikum, my brother.
Wa alaikum assalam.
Magomed, Mega Millions. All right. I just got a question for you, man. You're back in the main stage again, as you should be. Who are some of the fighters that you trained with at the Magomedkirmov school that help you prepare for this fight and that we should be looking out for on the rise and upcoming?
Магомед, очень рады видеть, что вы вернулись заслуженно на свое место в центр внимания сейчас. Подготавливаясь к этому сезону, с кем в школе Абдулманапа ты занимался? То есть кто из известных бойцов помогали тебе? Или, возможно, какие-то новые бойцы, которых ты замечаешь, потенциальные, которые скоро мы можем увидеть выступать? То есть поделись, с кем ты занимался.
Да, эту подготовку проходил в школе Абдулманапа Нурмагомедова. Там много молодых, хороших бойцов в зале. Ну, таких больших имен, когда готовился, в зале не было. Ну, там очень хорошая молодежь растет, талантливая. Вот с ними работал, они помогали мне в подготовке. Хочу им всем сказать спасибо, особенно тренеру Магомеду Багандову.
Yes, we have plenty of people at the Abdulmanap Magomedov school. My head coach, Magomed Bagandov, he's the head coach. Also, plenty of people. I wouldn't say anybody particularly famous was there at the time when I was there, because people are all around the world right now. But we always have people to spar with, and there is no shortage of great fighters back home. So I'm very thankful for my camp and preparation and everybody at the Nurmagomedov school.
All right. And then your opponent, he's taking this fight on short notice, wasn't supposed to be in this position. So it's kind of like he has nothing to lose. Do you look at that as making him more dangerous? So where you're looking to go out there and finish him? Or are you still just trying to play it safe and, overmatch him and just think that your skills would be enough to win? Because when people have nothing to lose, it makes it a way more dangerous a fight. Do you agree?
Твой оппонент Соломон узнал об этом бою достаточно в короткое время тоже. Ты думаешь, что, возможно, из-за этого он будет рисковать всем, что у него есть, потому что, в принципе, ему терять нечего, и как-то из-за этого ты свою стратегию будешь менять, или ты будешь также хладнокровно проверять, смотреть, на ошибках его ловить?
Да, конечно, я был плана придерживаться, как всегда, стараться поймать его на ошибки и сразу нокаутировать его. Да, он молодой, у него, я думаю, мотивации намного больше меня выиграть, чем у меня, потому что он молодой, это растущий боец. Если он случайно меня выиграет, он в рейтинге очень сильно поднимется.
Yes, he's a young guy who has a lot of energy. I think in that sense, his motivation to win me is probably higher because, as you said, he has not much to lose and he has a lot to gain. If by a lucky punch or some situation he wins, I think it's going to elevate him a lot. But, I have a lot of experience and I'm going to be looking for his mistakes. And if he makes one, he's going to be punished.
All right, Maga, thank you so much for your time today. Appreciate you. We'll just go to live media. All right, guys, I'm going to go get Sadibou and then we'll have OAM and then we'll finish off with Shane. So if you have questions for Sadi, please raise your hand. All right. Aldrich, please do the honors.
What's going on? What's going on, Sadibou?
How you doing?
Good, and yourself?
Good, my man.
Yeah. Obviously, you man, you're back again in the playoffs. You're looking to head back to the championship, doing the back-to-back, as Drake would say in his songs. Talk to me about this matchup and what it would mean to get another $1 million and another belt to your legacy.
Great question. A lot of a lot of things to break down. First and foremost, happy to be back in the playoffs, where I belong, obviously. This matchup is nothing new. We faced each other last semifinals. I believe I'm much better in terms of my mindset. I'm much more, I don't know if the right word is like ball, but I'm not afraid to go for things right now. I feel at home in the cage, so I believe that makes me a more dangerous fighter, I should say. I like the matchup. Carlos Leal is a gamer. He brings out the best in me in training. I've been training very hard. He's gonna bring it, but I just believe that stylistically, I'm a nightmare for him.
And of course,
sorry. The other part about like, for me, when I started mixed martial arts, I started with kickboxing and Muay Thai. I was just a young kid trying to push myself, right? And then starting to compete and actually like becoming world champion and starting to gain experience in the sport actually made me believe that I can be great in the sport. So for me, being able to build on my legacy and do something iconic is something that I'm striving for. And I have 5 world titles right now, and I want to have double digits. So on Wednesday will be the continuance, so if that's a word, on going for number 6.
All right, and to touching that to your skill set, obviously you've been a huge staple in PFL. You know, you started at 185, and you came down to the 170 scene, and you know you finally captured the title. And you know, people thought you were a one-trick pony. Like, okay, you're just a great striker, but now your skill set has evolved on a whole. Like, man, they can't even take it down like at ease anymore. You got some great grappling defense, and also have wrestling implemented into your game. Talk to me your overall progression, not just in PFL, but your career and your in the sport.
Yeah, that's a great question, and thank you for acknowledging that, to be honest, because that's something that I pride myself on. I work very hard, and me and my coaches and my teammates, we work hard pushing and seeing where we need to be and what we need to do to evolve. I've said it when I started fighting in mixed martial art that I don't want to be a striker with takedown defense. I want to be a mixed martial artist, a complete fighter. And I believe that's what I'm working towards. And I said last season that this year and next year I will start entering my prime. I believe that I still have a lot to gain. I'm gonna get better and better. And obviously the wrestling and taking people down and being able to control that part of the fight as well as something that I've been spending a lot of time on, and I'm proud that it actually shows in the fights.
That's good, man. And to my last question, obviously many people know or don't know, you know, you've been called the sweetest Denzel Washington. Yeah. So how iconic would it be for you to fight in front of Denzel himself and possibly meet him? And also, are you going to see the Equalizer 3 that's coming out soon?
I'm definitely gonna go and see Equalizer 3. And I didn't quite hear you. Did you ask me if I've fought in front of him or if I want to fight in front of him?
Of course, you know, you want to fight in front of him. What would that mean to you to fight in front of Denzel Washington and also meet him?
That would be great. That would be great. And even better would be if he started to call himself the sweetest Sadibou.
I love that. I love that. Man, thank you for your time, man. And best of luck to you, all right?
Madi.
Hey, Sadibou, how's it going? This is Madi from Wisda Sports Media.
How you doing, man?
Doing well, doing well. First and foremost, obviously, this matchup with Carlos Leal is a rematch of last year's first round in the playoffs. How, if at all, does the preparation change from the first fight to now?
We looked at a lot of opportunities that we had during the first fight that we didn't capitalize on. So we've been working a lot on small specific things that we've been seeing opportunities, and obviously where he were spots where he was where he had success, we've been working towards limiting those mistakes that I did to allow him to have that. So not too much, to be honest, because I still but the devil is in the details. So small things that makes huge differences, I should say.
Absolutely. And one thing that we've seen a difference in from last season to this season in Carlos Leal is this season he's come out with a little bit more aggression and has shown the capability in finishing fights. Do you sense a little bit more danger in Carlos this time around compared to the first fight?
No, same danger. He just hasn't fought me.
Love the response. Last but not least, you're always the calmest person in the room. I did ask you about this in person, but for those that missed out, can you tell us how you managed to stay so calm and just so you're always smiling? That's the one thing that we always tend to notice.
Yeah, thank you for noticing. To be honest, like everything, like this is what I do. This is my profession, and I put everything into it, right? But this is still like, this is not who I am. This is just fighting, right? So don't get me wrong. I want this more than anything in the world, right? But I'm blessed to be in the position that I am, right? I traveled from Sweden. I now live in Las Vegas with my wife. Gonna have a kid in a couple of months, and like I'm getting paid good money to do something that I love, that I'm great at, and being able to inspire and motivate people. Come on, man! Like, what's not to smile about?
Awesome. And I know I said the last question was the last one, but I've been asking every fighter this one. Post-fight meal, what do you have planned?
Say that again.
What do you have planned for your post-fight meal?
Ooh.
You are in New York, so.
Man, so if you know anything about me, you know that I love food. So it's gonna be a pizza or a burger, something. But I'm not sure yet. I have a couple of spots that I have to check out.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Sadibou. See you Wednesday.
Corey.
Hey, Sadibou. When I spoke to you before your last fight, I asked about the support from Sweden. Has there been any more support from Sweden after your last highlight reel performance?
How you doing, man? Yeah, like Sweden and Senegal, I try to represent both. Obviously, for PFL, they push Sweden a little bit more, but I always try to make sure I represent both Sweden and Senegal. And yeah, like the support is amazing from Sweden. And I believe I've had a great support throughout my career, but it's growing and growing, and it will become even more, I believe.
All right, Mills, last question.
What's going on, Swedish Denzel, MMA Locker Room, part of Pub Sports Radio? How you doing?
I'm doing great. How you doing?
Oh, man, I'm blessed. Can't be stressed. All right, so I was able to talk to you last time about media. We talked about some things. I'm going to bring up one of those questions a little bit later, but how can we just not talk about the obvious? 6-fight win streak, last fight going viral with that spinning wheel kick knockout. Can you talk to me a little bit about your last 2 wins, on how you were able to finish your opponents compared to your other 4 wins to where you went the decision? Did anything change in your training? Did your coach start, beating you up a little bit more? Or did your wife just tell you, hey, it's time to get that bacon for this baby?
Well, to be honest, you were on the right track. Last season was, for me, I made a move from Sweden to Las Vegas. And for me, it was just finding my way back to winning. Because when I fought in kickboxing and Muay Thai, like I was always winning. I was winning fights. Like I always find a way to win. I knew what I needed to do to win. When I started with mixed martial arts. Like, even though I was winning, I was like winning 2, losing 1, winning 3, losing 1. And that was not something that I was accustomed to. So I needed to figure out, okay, what do I need to do to win each fight? And that's what you saw last season. Me and my teammates and my coaches, we focused on exactly what we needed to do to win the fights. Now, when we have that on lock and we actually approached all the different holes that I believe that I had in my game, and we worked on those. And now I have the confidence and the skill set to go out and be a little bit more free. And as long as I'm free, that's danger for my opponents.
Got it. And yeah, so we talked about this last time in Media Day. Wasn't able to put the clip out, but we were talking about, former organizations, champions versus champions. And it seems like everybody was mentioning the other champions and not the PFL champions. I brought that up with you and you said, it's about time that, you guys start getting mentioned for champions versus champions. With that being said, it looks like some other organizations might be joining the PFL later down in the future, so we might actually get that opportunity for champions versus champions. But let's just make your claim to fame. Hey, tell everybody out there right now why you're the best pretty much PFL champion, and your take on any champion out there that wanted to try their ranks and get that $1 million tournament.
Man, great question, and I appreciate you lifting me up, because I believe that I work too hard to put no one above me in terms of the fights, right? So I focus solely on my fight now, but if the opportunity presents itself for me to fight another champion, I would take that on, and I would be victorious, and I promise you that.
Got it. And last but not least, I heard you're just about to be a father, so I want to welcome you to the best hood there is, and that's fatherhood.
I appreciate that.
All right, man. Good luck. Can't wait to see you fight this Wednesday. Best of luck, best of skill.
Appreciate that.
All right, Sadi, thank you for your time today. Appreciate you.
Appreciate you guys.
I'll bring up OAM and we'll get moving to the next.
What's up, Tony, sister?
Yeah.
How you doing? Really good. Just coming for some fun fights?
Yeah, I just came from Boston.
Where'd you come from?
Boston.
Oh, what are you doing in Boston?
I went to the O'Malley fight.
What's good?
To the UFC fight.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
It's good.
Yeah, it was good. The energy was good.
Yeah.
And then I just went to my friend's beach house.
Nice.
No, here. Yeah.
Tough fight. It's good.
Long weekend.
Yeah.
But
Weekend?
yeah, I flew from Hawaii
Oh shit.
on Friday. Yeah, so I'm like,
So Boston?
yeah.
Wow. That's impressive. What is it? It's like
It was like
10 hours, right?
5 hours to Phoenix and then 4
Yeah.
something to Boston.
Last time I flew to Hawaii, or engine around Plain Blue.
No.
Blue, like right as we took off, so it turned right around.
That's
Really, really tough start.
Why'd you turn the air on? Yeah.
It's freezing.
It's fucking freezing. All right, guys. Champ is here. All right. Madi, why don't you get us started with OAM?
How's it going, Aubin? This is Madi from Wisda Sports Media. Last time we spoke after your fight, we talked a lot about just going for that championship belt again, becoming back-to-back champ. How does the feeling of having that opportunity right now change?
It didn't change. I mean, I feel great about that. I think it's the only goal I have right now. So I have trouble is here to find motivation, but this kind of motivate me. It's really nice to be a champion, but it would be even nicer to be double champ.
Absolutely, and we saw last time out that highlight reel knockout with the flying knee. That was ridiculous.
Not that flying, but
yeah. Do you foresee another big finish in this upcoming fight?
Yeah, for sure. I would like to do that, but like I won't rush thing. You know, I think if I rush thing, I'm just gonna make mistakes. So I'm not like trying to push it, but for sure it would be great. You know.
You also did mention that you feel like you're coming towards a point where you want to focus a little bit more on other things in life, and you're not sure if you would be continuing after next season. Do you still feel the same way, or have you changed your mindset?
Oh no, I feel more than ever the same way. That's gonna be my last season. That's for sure.
Awesome. And last one for me. Post-fight meal. I've been asking all the fighters. What are you planning?
There's two really good restaurants in New York, and they are owned by a good friend of mine. So maybe I'm gonna go at Le Roc or Frenchette. It's probably the best meal I got in New York City, actually. And the only thing I like about New York is the food. And so I went in a lot of places, and those two places are amazing.
Awesome. Thank you so much, and see you on Wednesday. Best of skill.
You.
Corey. Corey, are you with us? All right, we'll come right back to you. Aldrich.
Olivier, my man, how you doing? And love the glasses.
How are you?
I'm good. I'm good. You know, you're back again, trying to get that second belt and also another $1 million, man. After a monumental season for you last year and everything you had to overcome, what is the mindset bit going on in this upcoming season? Is the same? Has things evolved? What has changed?
No, I think it's a little bit different. You know, there was a lot of weight on my shoulder last season, because like the money could have changed my life, the belt could have changed my life, and this year it's a bonus. You know, it's just to solidify everything, and so there is less pressure on me, and I actually do that for myself this season. I do it for my fans, but like not for my how can I say that, like my family or everything else around that. You know, money change thing, and the belt change thing too. So this time is just to solidify everything. So the feeling is a little bit different. It's maybe harder to get motivated, but it's still fun. You know, I would say that I try more thing in the cage than last year, actually.
All right, and obviously, you know, you're fighting again in Madison Square Garden, and you know you've talked about doing that. You know, I've asked you that question last year, and you brought a championship. You know, your teammate has done that. You know, what does it mean to PFL bringing an event or multiple events to Canada since they're expanding globally? And, you know, how would you like to play a part in that, whether it's fighting or just being an advocate?
I didn't hear all the question, but I think I know the question. So if I don't answer correctly, tell me. But yeah, I would like to bring PFL in Montreal, that's for sure. And I think we have some problem with the commission. But that would be a really great way to finish my my career, to bring PFL in Montreal. With that being said, it's gonna be on PFL. You know, I don't want to do next year the season, so I don't know if they're gonna be willing to come in Montreal anyway if I fight on the card. But we're gonna see with them. And we're gonna see what they offer, but for sure it would be a great way to finish my career, to fight in Montreal.
All right, and of course, you know, you've been fighting for a long time, and you know you've very much aware that like, hey, pretty much I want to focus on other things. What would you say the mark that you left on the sport, Canadian MMA, and just in your life in general? Like, how has fighting shaped you to the man that you are and going forward to the future?
Do you mean how I changed the MMA scene in Canada?
Yes, and but along as just like your whole entire fight career as a whole, like how has it evolved you, not just as a fighter, but as a person when it's all said and done?
Yeah, well, I think one of the thing that changed is I showed that PFL existed, that you can have a career outside of the UFC and that you can be different than GSP2, we don't need to be all the same athlete. I think everybody could be different and unique. So I think that's the two main point. The fact that you can have a career outside the UFC and that we don't really need to all be the same when we fight.
Thank you, and best of luck to you on Wednesday.
Thank you.
Corey.
Is Corey still gone?
Yep, Corey is still gone. Anyone else before we let Olivier go? Speak now.
I'll ask one more.
My man.
My man. One of the things, you talk about food, right? And you said that's the best thing about New York. I would say, what is, in your career, what of the top 5 cities have had the best food?
The top 5 cities. That's a good question. I think I won't say maybe a top 5, but I think the best moment I had after a fight, weirdly, it was in Las Vegas. My parents came to not to see me, but just to visit me after my fight, and they were in this recreational vehicle, and they passed the day with me after that, and it was one of the nicest, most beautiful day of my life, actually, of my career, to have that moment with them, and it was truly magical. Everything was perfect. We had a good meal. We had a great meal. We had a great day. So that was a really good memory from one of the city that I don't necessarily like. Las Vegas is a little bit too much for me. And again, I think another great after party was in New York City, even though I'm not a big fan of New York City. I think it was one of the greatest after party after fight last year when I won the tournament and the fight before too. I went to so many restaurants and I had so much fun. So I would say, even though I wouldn't go there for vacation, those two experiences were one of the best in my life.
All right, I think we got Corey back. Corey?
Oh my God, no.
Olivier, can you hear me?
Yeah.
All right. How are you doing? It's Corey from Tunnel Vision Sports. You're on a huge win streak and you're undefeated in the PFL. With a win Wednesday and another trip to the finals, is it time to start mentioning you among some of the best in the world at lightweight?
I think so. Yeah, I consider myself as one of the best in lightweight. I think it's a really, really busy category, but I think I'm up there. I think that's gonna be the biggest thing I will regret. After I retired, is not to fight for one against one of the top 5 before I end my career.
Well, I think you versus any top 5 in the world would be a great fight, and I'm looking forward to seeing you on Wednesday. Best of luck.
Thank you.
All right. Thank you, Olivier. Appreciate your time today.
Thanks.
Let's get you over to live media.
Olivier, I got one for you.
Question you mean? I have to sit?
Okay.
Ah.
All right, guys, let me bring Shane in.
Oh.
All right, guys, we have Shane here.
Am I looking? Okay, I can't see shit. All right, I see a dot. All right.
All right, Marty, go ahead and kick us off.
How's it going, Shane? This is Marty from Wisda Sports Media. How are you doing today?
I'm good, man.
Love the fit. First and foremost, this fight has been talked about by everyone ever since you've signed. Like we've been waiting to see like Shane Burgos versus Clay Collard, and for now, for it to be happening. How does that make you feel? And I remember us speaking about it being a war in your mind.
Yeah, I mean, this is the fight. I said it a bunch of times. This is the fight everybody wanted to see before I was even in this weight class. It's a fight I had my eyes on for a while. I'm ready for it. I'm excited for it. It's one of those matchups that it can't be boring. It's going to be a firefight from the first bell to the last bell, and I'm planning on doing everything in my power to get this finish. My first PFL finish over a guy like Clay is going to mean the absolute world to me. And the fact that it's in New York too, man, come on.
MSG. And as we all know, I mean, the scenario that put you into the playoffs was a bit odd when it comes to how the PFL took it upon themselves. And we asked a bunch of the fighters after the Natal Schultz fight last time out, and most fighters said the same thing. How do you feel about just the overall suspension of both fighters, and what led to you coming into the playoffs and making that replacement?
Yeah, so it's obviously, I'm going to make the absolute most out of this opportunity first and foremost. Technically, I'm not supposed to be here based off of the points, but I was granted this opportunity. I won my last fight. I gave it my all, and I'm here, so I'm going to make the absolute most out of it. How I feel, I feel bad for the guys. It's a shit position to be in, to have to fight your best friend. I've never been in that position before. Like the guy, one of them is the other one's daughter's godfather. Like I can't imagine being in that position, so I do feel for those guys, and especially them being suspended. Like it's rough because this is how we provide for our family. So I do feel for those guys, but it's not I didn't do anything to be, you know what I'm saying? Like a lot of people are giving me backlash for that, and I'm like, guys, what do you want me to do? I didn't ask for it. Like had Yamamoto, my last opponent, beat my ass, you don't think the PFL would have did the same thing and gave him the opportunity? He'd be sitting here right now if it wasn't me winning the fight. You know what I mean? So I've been granted this opportunity. I won my last fight. I give my all, and all I can do is just make the absolute most out of it.
Yeah, and touching on the Yamato Nishikawa fights, you both have fought in the Yamato this season. First and foremost, did you watch Clay Collard's fight against them, and what did you make of it?
Yeah, of course. It was a good fight. It was a fun fight. Yamato's tough. I know that from watching the fight, but then I also know that from being in there with him. Two different style of fights, though, if you judge the way my fight went with him and the way Clay's fight went with him.
Absolutely. And last but not least, you're in New York City, you're at home, but I've been asking everybody, what's the post-fight meal?
Oh, man. There's a bunch of bakeries over here, like some of the best bakeries in the world are in New York City. So I already got some banana pudding waiting in my room for after, but I need like a fat piece of cheesecake. Not even a piece. I might just get the entire pie and just go crazy on that.
Yeah, I saw the bagel spot in your Instagram story, so I think I'm going to hit that up next morning too.
Yes, sir.
Thank you so much, and good luck this Wednesday. See you then.
Thank you, man. Thank you.
Mills.
What's going on, Hurricane Shane? MMA Locker Room, part of Top Sports Radio.
How's it going, man?
Oh, good, man. I see you big smiling right now, chewing the gum, so the vibes is definitely in the right mind state. But let's talk about your opponent real quick. Any comparisons to any of your past opponents that you fought that you could compare him to? One of maybe like Cub Swanson or anything like that?
Yeah, that's a good comparison. Cub Swanson, yeah, Cub is a lot shorter than him though, so it's not a complete comparison, but the volume it's similar. The style is a little similar. Just obviously the height difference is pretty big. But I got a lot of training partners that are like him. That you guys would be surprised at how good some of the guys I have on my team that aren't these big names. So a lot of good training partners, a lot of good looks in the gym.
A lot of good training partners over there at Tiger Schultzman, right? That's who you been training with to get ready for this fight. Anybody that's on the up and coming out the gym that you know should get some notoriety, or anybody that helped you train for this fight?
For sure. My boy Rob Biaggio, he's 3-0. He's gonna be 4-0 on September 1st. He's fighting CFFC. One of my other guys, Alberto Borgwart, the dude has been amateur for so long. He's finally making his pro debut. He's a he's a beast, man. He's making his pro debut for Ring of Combat September 8th. I got Bobby Casale. He's also, I think he's got 2 or 3 pro fights. He just joined our team in January. He's another beast. So got a bunch of up and comers on the team, honestly.
Love it, man. I mean, you've been fighting for a decade now. Over the last 10 years, 16 wins, 4 losses. It's kind of like you don't really know how a loss feels. So with that being said, I mean, how do you feel in this fight? You know, a lot of people are saying that, you know, they feel you shouldn't be here. And your opponent even said that, you know, earlier on today, you know, he said that you shouldn't be here. So does that give you anything more out here to go out there and prove?
Dude, it's an opportunity. And I'm going to make the absolute most out of the opportunity. That's all I can do. I can only control what I can control. Any other shit that happens, like, it's out of my control. I'm not going to put too much stock in that. I'm here. I'm ready to go. I've been training for this fight. This is the fight that everyone wants to see. If you don't think I deserve it, I don't really give a fuck what anyone thinks. I really, truly don't. I'm here. And I'm the main event for a reason. This is the fight. This is the one. And I'm not just going out there just to show up and get a paycheck. I'm going out there to fucking win, cash my ticket into that $1 million final.
I feel you on that, man. And sometimes, you know, that's what they just say about people. They don't deserve it. They said the same thing about somebody who fought over the weekend, this week in the UFC. They said Sugar O'Malley didn't deserve the title shot, didn't fight anybody. It didn't matter. He got the best of his opportunity. They made the best of it. So it just shows, you know, when you get that opportunity, it's all about taking your moment and opportunity to shine. Right?
Seize the moment. Exactly. Very well said. I completely agree.
All right, man. Best of luck, man. Can't wait to see the fight this Wednesday. All the eyes are going to be on you guys. It's not going to be on a Thursday or Friday night card. So, yeah, it's going to be definitely one of the best fights of the year.
Thank you. Like, you fucking well said.
All right, Aldrich, please bring us home.
Shane, what it do, baby?
What's up, bro?
All right. Obviously, outside noise, man. Talk to me about, you know, potential fight of the year that's going to go down between you and Clay Collard. He said he has the best hands. We've seen him fight. We've seen you fight. Talk to me. We already know it's going to be a war. It's going to be a bloodbath. What you got?
It's going to be a banger.
That you got over him.
From the first belt to the last belt, it's going to be a fucking banger. But I'm getting the finish in this one. There's no judges needed. And this is it's funny because now for this fight, we don't need to worry about points or anything like that. So the finish isn't pressed, but that's why I want it even more. You know what I mean? There's no pressure to get the finish, but I'm putting that pressure on myself, and I'm gonna go out there and I'm gonna have fun. I'm gonna go back to the reason why I started this sport. I fell in love with this sport because it was fun. That's why I got into it. I fell in love with it because it looked fun. I tried it. It was fun, and all my fights before I made it to the big show were just fun. And when I'm having fun, I'm the best Shane Burgos in the world. That's exactly what I plan on bringing Wednesday night.
Of course, you know, it's for not just for a title, but $1 million. Talk to me like how that $1 million can change your life, your family's life, and everything like that.
Yeah, I mean, it goes without saying. Who? I mean, that's a lot of money. That's obviously life-changing money, and I plan on being smart with my money. I'm smart with my money. I plan on investing it and then making it generational wealth for my family and my grandkids. So it means everything. I do this. I started this sport for me, and I still do it for me because I do absolutely love it. I eat, sleep, and breathe the sport. But now I have 3 kids. I have a wife. I have a family, and it's like this much for me now, and it's like this much for them.
And to my other question, obviously, you know, you're here of, you know, the circumstance. Not going too much detail to it because you're not paying no energy to it. Obviously, and then you have your friend in Solomon Renfro, your boy, who got presented a similar opportunity on short notice.
Yep.
What is it for both of you guys to be in this big moment, and also to punch your tickets to the $1 million and then to, you know, potentially both bring titles back? Talk to me how that will mean to both of you guys.
Oh man, it'd be crazy. Obviously, I want to win. He obviously wants to win, but for us to both win that $1 million, to both get these wins, well, we both just did it in Atlanta. He took a short notice fight in Atlanta. He won that fight. We both got the win. Now we're going to do the same exact thing. Now we're in our home state. We're in New York. The stars are aligned for us to both to get these big wins, punch our tickets to the finals, and then both come home with the belt. That's a storybook ending, man. That's one of those things that like you can make a movie out of that shit right there. So let's go do it, Solomon.
All right, man. Best of luck to you on Wednesday. Thank you for your time.
Thank you, brother.
All right, Shane, thank you so much for your time today. Appreciate you.
Of course.
You'll just head over next door to live media and then you're all set. All right, guys, thank you so much today for joining. Appreciate all of your questions and looking forward to the fights on Wednesday. We'll see you guys there.
Thank you, Tony. See you Wednesday.
Thank you so much, Tony. Appreciate you guys.